So I was feeling tired. Not just like I need a nap tired, like don't look at me, don't talk to me, I might cry if my phone vibrates tired. You know the kind. I'm like, I need to recharge, I need serenity, I need a damn spa. Hi, I'm Lexi. And this is the story of how I booked a luxury spa treatment and ended up getting slow roasted like a Whole Foods rotisserie chicken. Let's go back. I go online, find this place that's all white marble and eucalyptus vibes, the kind of place that uses words like detoxify and rejuvenate. They had a treatment called the infrared body wrap experience. The website said it melts away toxins and burns 600 calories at rest. I said, say less. I imagined warm towels, gentle music, someone whispering positive affirmations in my ear. What I got was a tinfoil prison. So, I show up. Lady greets me in a tone that says, namaste, but also, you look tired. She hands me a robe and says, you'll be in the detox suite. Just undress and lie down. The detox suite sounds like a room where Gwyneth Paltrow keeps her secrets. Instead, it's a small, dim room with a heated table and what looks like a giant silver tortilla. She comes in, slathers me in seaweed paste. Why? Wraps me in like 7 layers of foil and plastic, and then tightens these glowing infrared blankets around me like I'm a baked potato in a space station. Then she leaves, closes the door, and I'm just there, cooking. At first, I'm like, okay, a little toasty, spa vibes. 2 minutes later, oh no, I'm sweating. Like, pores fully open, crying from the inside out sweating. My nose is dripping, my ears are sweating, my eyelids are sweating. Who knew eyelids even had sweat glands? Then I try to move my arm. Can't. I'm fully sealed in, trapped, like a sexy, stressed hot pocket. The music playing, some sort of Enya remix with whale noises and flutes. It should be calming, but it's not. It's the soundtrack to my slow demise. I start panicking. I want to scream, but it feels disrespectful to interrupt the vibes. Finally, the lady returns, looks at me beet red and steaming, and says, how do you feel? I say, like meat. She smiles, says, that's the toxins leaving your body. Babe, I think my soul left my body. She unwraps me like a leftover lasagna. I sit up, dizzy, covered in kelp, smelling like salt and regret. She hands me a tiny cup of cucumber water like that will bring me back from the brink. I wobble into the lobby, half conscious, hair soaked, eyes dead. The receptionist says, you look so refreshed. Lies. I get home, collapse on my couch, order a burger. Because if I'm gonna sweat, it better be from fries, not from being microwaved in a spa coffin. Moral of the story? Not all wellness is well. Do not trust anything called up wrap unless it's edible, and if you ever smell like steamed seaweed, reevaluate. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a girl walk out of a spa looking like she just survived a sauna-related exorcism, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's your worst self-care fail? Mud bath gone wrong? Over-exfoliated your soul? Yoga disaster? Let's laugh about it, babes. Love you, mean it. Lexi out. So I booked this fancy spa day, okay? Like real fancy. One of those places where everything smells like eucalyptus and guilt, where they hand you tea in a cup with no handle and tell you to breathe with intention. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I tried to achieve spiritual healing and instead accidentally flashed 3 strangers in a sweatbox. Let's set the vibe. I show up, get my locker key. They hand me a robe that feels like a cloud. I'm told, take your time, enjoy the amenities, which to me means get naked and wander. So I do. I take off everything, wrap myself in the robe, and start exploring like I'm on a luxury scavenger hunt. I see a door that says sauna. Perfect. I want to sweat out all my sins, regrets, and that one tequila shot from 2018. Now, this is where it all goes south, because the women's sauna is apparently around the corner. This one? Unlabeled, neutral, mysterious. I think spa people are evolved. Maybe it's unisex. I open the door, walk in, fully nude, and what do I see? 3 grown men, already sweating, already mid-conversation. One of them is sipping cucumber water like this is completely normal. And me? I freeze. There is no towel, no robe, just steam and shame. The men go silent. One guy literally chokes on his water. Another does a slow, respectful head turn, like he's trying to pretend he's gone temporarily blind. And I, in full panic, just blurt out, "Oh, I'm looking for the steam eucalyptus zone." What even is that? I try to turn, but my foot slips. Now I'm naked and off balance, doing some kind of panicked ballet pirouette with one arm over my chest and the other covering my regrets. The third guy, the chillest of the 3, just nods and says, "Well, namaste." Sir. I grab the doorknob, fling myself out of there like a soap-slippery rocket, and slam back into the hallway where I nearly crash into a poor spa employee holding a tray of warm stones. She just goes, "Men's sauna is on the left, ma'am," like it's happened before. I sprint back to my locker, wrap myself in 2 robes like I'm trying to erase my entire body, sit in the lounge, and drink tea aggressively. Spa day? Ruined. Pores? Clear. Dignity, now steaming in a room with 3 confused men. Moral of the story? Always ask before entering a steamy mystery room. Nudity and navigation don't mix, and if a man in a sauna says namaste, it's already too late. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman sprinting out of a luxury spa like she just robbed the cucumber water fridge, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's your worst spa or locker room horror story? Wrong room, wardrobe fail, slippery betrayal? Let's bare our souls, not our bodies, together. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
So here's the thing. I don't date often. Not because I can't, but because I have a gift for turning perfectly normal outings into emotionally scarring events. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I tried oysters for the first time and chewed them like an actual animal in front of a man I liked. Let's begin. So this guy, we'll call him Tate because that's 100% the vibe. He's tall, smells like sandalwood and chaos. He messages me like, "Want to get drinks somewhere with vibes?" I'm like, yes, Lexi is ready. I wear a black slip dress, gold hoops, red lip, the whole effortless but trying very hard situation. We get to this cocktail bar that also low-key has a raw bar. Everything's moody lighting and jazz covers of trap songs. And I'm thinking, I am a woman of mystery. I can hang. We sit down. Tate orders a mezcal cocktail with a name like Cactus and Crisis, then casually goes, "Let's get some oysters to start." Now listen, I have never eaten an oyster. I barely trust clams, but I'm like, absolutely. Because God forbid I look uncultured in front of a man who owns a chain and uses words like mouthfeel. The oysters arrive. I'm staring at them. They look like wet sea boogers served on crushed ice. There's lemon, hot sauce, something called mignonette, which sounds like a ballet move. Tate goes first. He tips the shell to his lips, slurps it like a pro, and goes, clean finish. I panic. Do I slurp? Do I chew? Do I need to chew? I copy him. Pick one up. Tip it back. And then I chew. Like it's steak. Loud, crunchy, full molar contact. I think I bit down on sand. There's lemon juice in my eye. I'm dying, internally screaming, "Why is it textured?" Tate pauses. He just stares, one eyebrow slightly raised like he just witnessed a crime. I try to save it. I go, briny. Then cough. Then immediately take the strongest sip of my drink to wash it down and erase myself from Earth. After that, the vibe changed. He stopped calling me doll and started calling me dude. We finished the drinks. I paid half out of shame. We hugged goodbye like we were colleagues at LinkedIn Live. I never heard from him again, which is fine, because I still taste seawater when I close my eyes. Moral of the story? Don't fake oyster confidence. If you're going to try something new, Google it first. And chewing oysters? Never again. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman chewing shellfish like jerky while blinking through lemon-induced tears, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten to impress someone, or the worst first date food fail? I need to know that I'm not the only one who's been betrayed by the sea. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
Okay, let me paint the scene. It's Friday night. I'm feeling powerful, confident, unstoppable, wearing the sleek little black dress, red lip, silver hoops, and these gorgeous high heels that say, I'm not just arriving, I'm making an entrance. I take the metro because I'm practical, sustainability, urban body vibes. I glide down the escalator like I'm starring in a perfume ad. I hear the train pulling in. Perfect timing. Doors open. People rush off. I strut on like I own the transit system. Until disaster. One heel, just one, goes straight down into that evil tiny gap between the train and the platform. Like the universe saw me glowing and said, let's humble her. At first, I'm like, okay, no big deal. I shift my weight, try to wiggle it out. Nothing. It's jammed, fully wedged. The crowd behind me starts piling up. People are grunting. There's a guy sighing aggressively like I've just ruined his life. I try to step out of it, thinking maybe I can just grab the shoe and go. But no, the shoe is stuck. And now my bare foot is touching the metro floor, the raw floor. I want to die. I'm crouched down, tugging at the heel like a raccoon in distress. My bag falls off my shoulder. My lipstick rolls out and disappears under the bench like it's abandoning ship. The train chimes. You know the one. Doors closing in 10 seconds. 10 seconds? What am I, Tom Cruise? I scream, wait! I'm stuck! People turn. A teenage girl starts filming. A guy in cargo shorts yells, just take the shoe off, like he's never met a woman before. I do it. I sacrifice the shoe, yank my foot out, stand there, one bare foot, one fabulous heel, like some cursed Cinderella at a rave. And then the doors try to close, but they hit the heel, bounce back open. Again, the train physically can't leave because my shoe is now a hostage. A metro worker gets involved. He walks over like he's about to disarm a bomb. He says, ma'am, please remove the obstruction. I say, the obstruction is fashion. Eventually, with some superhuman grip strength, I twist the heel sideways and it pops out. Bent, scraped, wounded but alive. I hold it up like Simba in The Lion King. Everyone, cheers! Kidding. They all just shuffle around me like nothing happened and I'm invisible. I put the shoe back on. It's clicking like it's broken emotionally and physically. I walk off the train like nothing happened, but inside, I'm crying on 6 different levels. Moral of the story? High heels plus metro equals bad romance. Sometimes you gotta choose between grace and survival. And carry wet wipes. Always. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a girl limping through a station barefoot while whispering, "This is fine," that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's your biggest public transportation fail? Wrong train, faceplant, shoe betrayal? Let's bond over it, babes. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
Okay, let me start by saying I love dogs. I do. They're loyal, they're cute, they don't judge you for eating cheese in bed. So, when my friend texted, "Hey babe, can you watch Marshmallow for the weekend? He's super chill, you'll love him." I was like, yes, give me the fluff. Now, what I didn't know was that Marshmallow, short for Sir Marshmallow III, is not just a dog. He's a full-time influencer. No, really. He has his own Instagram, blue check, 800K followers, more than me, more than you, more than most of Congress. The second he arrived, I should have known, he rolls in, literally, in a monogrammed stroller, wearing a Gucci dog bandana and tiny custom doggles. He has a little overnight bag. Inside, organic duck jerky, CBD calming drops, dog-safe paw balm, a ring light, and a tripod. The instructions? 8 full pages, double-sided, laminated. Laminated. There's a feeding schedule, skincare schedule, yes, for the dog, and a shoot list. A shoot list. Like, Saturday, 9 a.m., sunrise yoga content. Marshy prefers lavender lighting and matcha foam props. Excuse me? So day 1, I try to keep it chill. We go for a walk. I post a little video on my story. Tag him. Didn't think twice. 2 hours later, I get a DM from his agent saying, "Hi Lexi, can you please re-edit the clip? Marshy's brand doesn't align with chaotic street noise. Also, the lighting flattened his coat." I'm sorry, is this dog on a payroll? Am I gonna get sued for bad angles? The next morning, I try to do sunwise yoga like the schedule says. I drag Marshmallow and his 3-ring binder onto my balcony. I set up a tiny mat. I pose him. I play spa music, and he refuses to look at the camera. I offer treats, he turns his back, lays dramatically on his side like a moody French poet. Now, I'm out here in pajamas begging a dog to do downward dog for content that he's being paid for, and I'm not. Later that day, I get a PR package delivered. Not for me, for Marshmallow. Inside, designer dog shoes and a bottle of pet-friendly kombucha. By the end of the weekend, I've made 17 story drafts, styled 3 outfits, nearly cried over a photo shoot, and developed a real fear of being canceled by a dog. When my friend picks him up, I just hand her the leash and say, "Your son is a tyrant, and I fear his fans." She laughs, says, "Oh yeah, he can be a little diva when he's off schedule." Off schedule? Babe, I had a Google Calendar with alerts. Moral of the story, never agree to watch a dog with a media kit. Always ask if the dog has an agent. And if a pup shows up with paw bong, run. Anyway, I'm Lexi. And if you ever saw a sleep-deprived woman whispering affirmations to a Pomeranian on a yoga mat at 6 a.m., that was me. Tell me in the comments, have you ever babysit a pet that had more power than you? Or met an animal with a skincare routine? I need to hear your stories, babes. Love you. Mean it. Lexi out.
Let me just start by saying, she looked good, okay? I'm not here to lie to you. The mirror didn't just say, "You look nice." It said, runway, goddess, dangerous weapon. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I wore a dress so tight I almost got medically evacuated from a rooftop party because I couldn't breathe like a functioning mammal. So let's go back. I was invited to this cocktail party, fancy vibe. You know, the kind where everyone drinks out of glasses that cost more than your monthly internet bill? Art gallery people, fashion people, the kind of crowd that only eats olives and speaks in eye rolls. I'm like, I have the perfect dress. It's black, silky, snatched to the gods. No zippers. Just step in, shimmy, and pray. The thing is, I had to do lunges just to pull it past my thighs. It felt like vacuum sealing my body. Every breath was a gamble. Every step, calculated. But once it was on, whew, I looked like the final boss of heartbreak. I said, who needs oxygen when you've got silhouette? So I head to the party, arrive fashionably late, make an entrance like a slow-motion music video. I can feel necks turning. I can feel power. I also can't feel my ribs. About 15 minutes in, I realize I cannot sit. If I try, I might split open like a baked potato. So I stay standing, sipping slowly, smiling politely, while my lungs whisper, SOS. Then someone tells a joke, a good one, and I laugh. Mistake, because that tiny breath-in laugh combo nearly took me out. I start coughing, but I can't cough properly. The dress won't allow it. So I'm just lightly choking into my cocktail napkin while pretending it's allergies. A woman nearby leans in and whispers, "Is your dress from that brand that doesn't believe in stretch?" I nod. She nods. We share a silent moment of suffering. I try to walk to the bathroom. Each step, a micro battle. It's like walking while holding in a sneeze and a fart at the same time. Finally, I reach the mirror, and I'm pale. Like Titanic after the iceberg pale. I try to zip the back. Joke's on me, there is no zipper. It's a trap. I consider texting a friend for an emergency rescue. Bring scissors, bring prayer, bring snacks. But instead, I stand, I survive, I suffer with glamour. I last exactly 53 minutes at that party. Then I Uber home, roll onto my floor like a lizard shedding its skin, and launch the dress across the room like it personally betrayed me. Which it did. Moral of the story? Test drive your outfit before the party. Don't trust dresses without zippers, and vanity will leave you breathless. Literally. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a girl standing very still, sipping a drink and blinking slowly like she was buffering, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the most uncomfortable thing you've worn just to look hot? Heels, shapewear, jeans that require math? Let's share the pain, babe. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
So, movie snacks. We all know the scam. One small popcorn and a soda equals second mortgage. I'm not about that life. I believe in justice and snacks. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I tried to sneak a buffet into the movie theater and ended up publicly dropping a whole-ass chicken on the floor. Let's set the scene. It's Friday night. My friends and I are seeing the new horror movie, the one with the creepy doll that blinks too slowly. We decide to go big, but not in the theater, in my purse. Except we went overboard. By we, I mean me. I'm like, guys, what if I wear the fake pregnancy belly from Halloween and smuggle in everything? They say, you won't. I say, watch me. So I dig it out, dusty, tragic, but effective. I Velcro it around my waist, Start stuffing. Sour gummies. Chips. Cheese sticks. 1 thermos of Sprite. And a fully roasted Costco rotisserie chicken. It was warm. It was bold. It was wrong. I look in the mirror and I'm like, this baby kicks and smells like paprika. We get to the theater. The ticket guy looks at me, looks at my belly, smiles gently, says, "Enjoy the movie, Mama." I say, "Thanks." It's his first scary film. We go in. Lights dim, trailer start. I'm living. 1 hand on my fake bump, the other reaching inside, pulling out a snack like I'm Mary Poppins of illegal cinema cuisine. But then, I shift. Just slightly. Maybe I leaned forward too fast. Maybe the Velcro belly was loose. Maybe I angered the snack gods. Suddenly, thump. Then roll. And then skid. The chicken has fallen out, hit the floor, and is rolling down the aisle like it's late for a meeting. It's glistening. It's spinning. Someone literally gasps. A guy in front of us goes, "Yo, did someone just drop a bird?" I freeze. My friends are wheezing. I want to melt into the floor and be reborn as popcorn salt. And then the worst part. An usher with a flashlight walks in, sees the chicken, sees me, sees my now deflated fake belly. He walks over, whispers, "Ma'am, is this your chicken?" I don't know what to say. I just pick it up, cradle it like a newborn, and say, "He got excited during the trailers." They let us stay, but I had to hold that chicken the rest of the film like it was my emotional support animal. It smelled like garlic and shame. Moral of the story: don't smuggle poultry into theaters. Pregnancy bellies are not secure containers. And if you must sneak snacks, stick to things that don't have legs. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a girl cradling a rotisserie chicken in the back row during a horror movie, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the weirdest thing you've ever snuck into the movies? Candy? Fast food? Emotional baggage? Let's bond over crimes and crumbs. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
So here's the thing. I love a reset. New moon, I journal. Monday, I organize my apps. Feeling puffy, I say the 4 most dangerous words. Let's do a cleanse. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I tried to do a juice detox for one day and ended up trying to make out with a mannequin named Tyler. Let's begin. It all started on Instagram. Of course. I saw this girl, flawless skin, abs like a Lego brick, glowing like she bathes in filtered sunlight. She says, 24 hours, just juice. You'll feel reborn. I'm like, yes, I want reborn. I want glowy. I want inner peace with celery. So I dropped $60 on this overpriced cleanse. Morning citrus wake up. Midday, green warrior. Afternoon, beet balm. Evening, cashew, vanilla, milk. Why the why? I start the cleanse at 8 a.m., feeling strong, powerful, fresh. By 10 a.m., I'm fantasizing about toast. By 11:30 a.m., I would fight a raccoon for a cracker. But I push through. I go to the mall around 1 p.m. to distract myself. Big mistake. I walk by Cinnabon. The scent physically lifts me off the ground like a cartoon character. I start texting my friends things like, "Do you ever feel like your stomach is trying to eat itself? Are humans supposed to be this empty inside?" By 4 p.m., I'm in Nike, just looking at leggings, trying not to pass out. And then I see him. Tyler. That's not his name, but I gave it to him. Tall, sculpted, great jawline, wearing track pants like he owns stocks and drinks protein shakes, ironically. He's standing by the running shoes, backlit like a Calvin Klein ad. I walk over, stare, smile, and say, "You come here often?" He doesn't respond, obviously, because he is a mannequin. But I'm so deep into my juice-induced spiral, I don't register it. I just stand there, flirting with a plastic man. A sales associate walks by. I guess she thinks I'm joking. She laughs and says, "Girl, he's not that into you." I respond, "Let me dream." She does a full blink and walks away slowly, like she's afraid I might bite. That's when it hits me. I am out of my mind. I stumble out of Nike, clutching my beet juice like it's holy water. I sit on a bench, open my phone, Google, signs of juice cleanse psychosis. I get home, I give up. I microwave a burrito, eat it like it's my last meal, and suddenly the world is beautiful again. My body whispers, "Thank you for not feeding me liquefied kale anymore." Moral of the story, juice is not a meal. Hunger makes you hallucinate hot mannequins, and food is not the enemy. Food is life, baby. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman whispering compliments to a store display while holding a bottle of cold-pressed spinach, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's your worst health trend fail? Cleanses, keto breakdowns, that one time you tried goat yoga. I want the messy stories. Love you. Mean it. Lexi out. So I love cooking. I love pasta. I love pretending I'm on a cooking competition show where the stakes are emotional, but the apron is cute. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I ended up alone in a couples-only cooking class, making ravioli while emotionally unraveling to Italian jazz. Let's rewind. My friend gives me a fun experience for my birthday. It's a voucher. She says, "You're gonna love this. Pasta making, wine, hot chef. Go live your eat, pray, love fantasy." I'm in. I book it, show up in a cute apron, hair tied back, smelling faintly of basil and hope. Walk in and immediately realize, oh no, everyone is coupled. Coupled hard. Matching outfits, whispering in each other's ears, doing that gross laugh touch combo. The instructor, Fabio. No joke. His name is Fabio. He's handsome, charming, and speaks like olive oil. He claps and says, "All right, lovers, pair up and pick your pasta station." I stand there, alone, smiling like I meant to come as a party of one. Fabio walks over and goes, "Ah, solo cuore. You will be, team spaghetti." I say, thank you." Everyone else has names like Team Amore and the Pasta Bays. I'm Team Spaghetti. A team of one, a carb island. We start kneading dough. Couples are giggling, flour is flying. Someone literally kisses their partner on the nose. I'm over here pounding semolina like it owes me money. Fabio keeps walking by like, "Team Spaghetti, look at that independence, strong kneading motion." At one point, he pats my shoulder and whispers, "You are enough, even without a ravioli partner." Sir, I came here to cook, not to be spiritually exposed. We move on to the sauce portion. Everyone is feeding each other spoonfuls. I'm double dipping with zero shame, sipping wine like it's a coping mechanism, because it is. Then, group photo time. Fabio says, "Lovers, get close with your ravioli." I just stand there, holding up my one sad pasta, like Simba, no partner, just vibes and garlic. By the end, I'm full, wine happy, and emotionally fragile. As we're leaving, this one couple tells me, "You're so brave to come alone." Brave? Ma'am, I came for carbs, not combat. I walk out, tipsy and flour-streaked, whispering, "Team Spaghetti forever." Moral of the story? Never trust a friend who gives experiences without reading the fine print. Fabio will both flirt and emotionally gut you. And sometimes being a team of one means more leftovers for you. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman aggressively folding ravioli while mentally rewriting her will, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the most awkward group experience you've had to solo? Cooking class, dance lesson, escape room of shame? Let's swap stories, Team Spaghetti. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
Okay, so I'm a romantic, like cry at Target engagement ring commercials level romantic. So when my coworker asks me, "Hey Lexi, want to help with my brother's surprise proposal?" I say, "Yes, I will bring glitter and tissues." The plan is simple. Public park, golden hour. She's bringing the bride-to-be for a fake girls' picnic. Meanwhile, we hide behind a bush with lettered signs. You know the drill. Each person holds a sign, "Will you marry me?" Classic, wholesome, Instagrammable. The day comes. I show up in pastels, obviously. There's a string quartet, a photographer hiding behind a trash can. I'm living for the chaos. Now, this is where things go off the rails. The signs arrive late. Big white poster boards, bold black letters. They're handed out fast. No time to check who has what. I get one. It's folded. I'm told, "You're third, unfold on cue." I'm like, cool. I've got marry or maybe me. Wrong. The couple walks up. He drops to one knee. Everyone unfolds. And I lift mine proudly, only to see it's over. Big, bold, all caps, like a breakup billboard. Everyone freezes. The bride-to-be's face drops. She literally gasps. The violinist stops playing mid-note. The dude on one knee looks like he just saw the ghost of his love life. I realize I got one of the prank signs. Apparently there were joke options too for laughs later. I got handed the worst possible one, and I held it up like it was the Holy Grail. My panic response? I try to flip it. Now it says, "Revorce it?" which looks like an IKEA bookshelf name. Ice cream? Not that, not that. I love love, I swear. The photographer? Still snapping. God bless his professionalism. The groom yells, "That's not part of it." The almost fiancé, laugh crying, says, "Wait, is this a sign, like a real one?" I drop the board, back away slowly like I just detonated a relationship, try to blend into a tree, literally whisper, "I'm a good person." Eventually, someone hands her the right sign. He proposes, she says yes, everyone claps, but the whole time I'm standing in the background like the reaper of romance. Afterward, the groom hugs me and goes, "Honestly, that's so us." Cool, but I still ruined 6 seconds of your most important moment, babe. Moral of the story? Double check your sign. Never trust group instructions in a high-stakes situation. And if you're going to crash a proposal, do it with confidence. Anyway, I'm Lexi. And if you ever saw a woman holding a breakup banner at someone else's engagement, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the worst public mix-up you've had? Wrong sign, wrong text, wrong outfit at a wedding? Let's spiral together. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
So I got summoned for jury duty. And honestly, I was kind of into it.
I was like, yes, let me be a voice of reason. Let me bring balance to the legal system. Let me wear neutral tones and drink iced coffee with purpose. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I tried to be a serious adult citizen, but instead became the girl who brought a vibrating object to court. Let's back up. Morning of jury duty, I pack a bag. I don't know what's going to happen, so I bring snacks. Water, notebook, my Kindle, chapstick, and because I am deeply attached to skincare, I toss in this little vibrating face wand. It's for depuffing, under-eye tension, lymphatic draining, whatever. It's like the size of a mascara tube, but when it turns on, loud. Like tiny construction equipment for your cheekbones. Anyway, I forget it's even in there. I show up, they assign me to a courtroom. I'm seated with 11 strangers. Everyone's being very serious. No one is making eye contact. It's all beige suits and deep sighs. Then comes the moment the judge says, "Let's all take a moment of silence to review the documents before we proceed." The room goes dead silent. And that's when I hear it. Bzzz. At first, I think it's in my head. Maybe I'm hungry. Maybe I'm vibrating from the inside. But then I realize it's coming from my tote bag on the floor, by my feet. And it's loud, like someone accidentally turned on an electric toothbrush inside a megaphone. I panic. Lean down, start blindly grabbing around in my bag like I'm defusing a bomb made of lip gloss. The juror next to me is looking over like, "Ma'am, are you okay?" The bailiff is squinting. The judge literally pauses and goes, "Do we, hear something?" "Yes, Your Honor, you hear my shame buzzing at 6,000 RPM. I finally find it. Yank it out, try to click it off, it won't stop, it's possessed, it's the demon of dermatology. So what do? I sit on it. I literally shove it under my thigh and try to muffle the sound with my own body weight. It's still going. Now my chair is lightly vibrating like I'm in some kind of spa-themed massage simulator. The court reporter is side-eyeing me. I start sweating, like elbows slippery sweating. Finally, it dies. Battery gives up, the sound stops. I sit there, pretending nothing happened, holding my breath like a terrified statue. Then the judge goes, "If we're all finished with whatever that was," and continues. No one says anything, but I know. They know. We all know. After we're dismissed, one of the other jurors leans in and whispers, "Girl, whatever that was, your skin better be flawless." I just whispered, "Lymphatic drainage, babe," and walked out with the dignity of a woman who just buzzed through the justice system. Moral of the story: don't pack skincare tools like they're stress toys. Silence and vibration don't mix, and the courtroom is not the place for beauty experiments. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman in a courtroom sitting on her purse with her eyes wide and her forehead glistening, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever accidentally packed? Buzzers, razors, snacks that exploded? I want to hear it all. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
So I don't know what came over me that night. Maybe it was the espresso martini. Maybe it was the fact that I was wearing boots that screamed main character energy. Maybe I just wanted to feel spicy and international. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I faked a British accent at a bar and created a whole fake town called the Southern East Side of Buckingham. Let's go back. My friends and I go out, cute bar, good lighting, music loud enough to vibe, but soft enough to eavesdrop. I'm feeling silly, flirty, dangerous. And I say, tonight, I'm British. My friends, chaos gremlins that they are, encourage it. They hype me up like, yes, you're from London, you studied drama, your name is Gemma. So I'm like, oh yeah, innit? Oh, I fancy a pint. Cheers, love. It's bad. It's offensive. It's one teacup away from cultural crimes. But I'm committing. I go up to the bar, order a drink in full fake accent. The bartender squints, but lets it slide. Then he appears. Tall, cute, actual British accent. He leans over and says, "What part of the UK are you from then?" My soul leaves my body. I panic. I'm like, oh, the southern east side of Buckingham. What? Buckingham isn't even a big city. There is no southern east side. That's not how directions work. That's a compass having a stroke. He looks confused, squints, smirks, says, "That's funny. I'm from Buckingham. Never heard of that part." I double down because I am too deep. I say, "Oh, it's a new district, very exclusive, barely on the map." He goes, "Right. And what school'd you go to there?" I say, "Oxford, preschool." Silence. He's staring at me, trying not to laugh. I'm sweating through my cute Zara top. Finally, he goes, "You know you sound more like you're from Minnesota than Manchester?" I break, drop the accent, say, "Okay, fine, I'm from Pasadena and I failed geography twice." He laughs, actually laughs, says, "Honestly, that was a terrible accent, but I admire the commitment." Then he buys me a drink anyway. Redemption. Maybe? Dignity? Absolutely not. Moral of the story? Don't fake an accent unless you're ready for a pop quiz. Never invent fake towns under pressure. And if you're gonna lie, at least learn where Buckingham is. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman in a bar yelling "pip pip" and then crumbling under the weight of her own nonsense, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the worst lie you told while flirting? Fake job, fake hobby, pretended to like crypto. Let's get exposed together, babes. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.
So this was a hot date. Like suit jacket, gold watch, let me open the car door for you hot. I show up looking like money. Hair curled, dressed tight. Smelling like I moisturize daily and pay my taxes on time. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I fumbled a bougie French restaurant moment by trying to eat furniture. Let's go back. So the guy, he's cultured, speaks 3 languages, owns real books, watches movies with subtitles on. We sit down at this ultra-fancy French place. I'm talking napkins folded like origami swans, menu with no pictures, and soft jazz that makes you feel underdressed even if you're in couture. The waiter walks up. French, accent, sharp suit, probably judges people silently. My date smiles at me and says, "You should order. Ladies first." In my head, I'm like, this is your time, Lexi. This is your Dior girl summer moment. So I look at the menu, find something that looks safe-ish, chicken something something avec mushrooms. I'm like, I got this. I took Duolingo twice. I watched Ratatouille. I know things. So I puff up, smile confidently, and tell the waiter, "Je voudrais la table, s'il vous plaît." Which in my brain meant, I would like the chicken dish, please. What I actually said was, I would like the table, please. The table. The whole freaking table. The waiter pauses. Dead silence. He blinks. My date tilts his head. Waiter goes, "Pardon, mademoiselle? La table?" And I, thinking he didn't hear me, repeat it louder. "Oui, la table, s'il vous plaît."
At this point, the people at the table next to us have stopped chewing. I have essentially demanded furniture with passion. He finally says, "Do you mean le poulet à la truffe?" I freeze. Brain rebooting. I just whisper, "Yes, that." He nods slowly like I'm 5, walks away, and I sit there feeling like I just asked the Eiffel Tower if it wanted to hang out sometime. My date just sips his wine and goes, "So, hungry enough to eat the table, huh?" I say, "I like fiber." We burst out laughing, and honestly, that broke the ice so hard, we actually ended up having the best time. Moral of the story? Never flex in a language you barely passed in high school. French is romantic until it's tragic. And sometimes messing up is the charm. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman confidently demand a 4-legged piece of furniture at a Michelin star restaurant, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever said trying to sound smart or fancy? Wrong word? Wrong language? Wrong dinner date? Let's linguistically cry together. Love you, mean it. Lexi out. All right. So I work remote, and like every remote worker in the 2020s, I am now professionally dead behind the eyes during Zoom calls. Especially the Monday all hands. Nothing hands-on about it except me barely holding it together. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I became the tooth fairy of tech by flossing my teeth. Live, in front of 47 coworkers. Let's begin. So, it's Monday, 9 a.m., the quarterly business review, which is corporate speak for sit in silence while someone reads a PowerPoint and says synergy 14 times. I'm in pajamas, hair in a bun that might be illegal in 12 states. I log in, turn camera off, mic off, put the call in a little window while I wander around the kitchen looking for purpose. Then I feel it. Something in my teeth. Leftover kale from my tragic little wellness salad the night before. Unforgivable. So what do? I grab floss, stand directly in front of my laptop, and go to war. Like elbows flying, face scrunched up, full upper lip lift, hacking at my molars like they're holding secrets, all while the CEO is saying things like, Q2 showed tremendous growth in the Northeast markets. And I'm over here doing mouth surgery like, Q2, I'm in quadrant 2 of my gums, babe. 5 minutes in, I glance at the screen. Realize my camera is on. Full. HD. Everyone sees me, face first, deep in the floss zone. I scream, mute myself, slam my laptop shut like it's possessed, hide under my kitchen table, consider changing my name to Lindsay and moving to rural Canada. I open Slack. I already have messages. Coworker 1, Lexi, camera's on, babe. Coworker 2, your gum health is amazing. Coworker 3, clap, clap, clap. And then the CEO messages me. A single line. Nice form. I'm dying. I'm deceased. I'm reborn as corporate legend. Now, anytime someone says floss, they don't mean dental hygiene. They mean me. Moral of the story? Always double check your camera. Slack will never forget. And your teeth deserve privacy too. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman violently flossing her teeth while someone presented a revenue slide deck, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's your worst Zoom call moment? Mic mishap? Camera fail? Pantsless presentation? Let's cry together in pixels, babes. Love ya, mean it, Lexi out. So I wanted to be zen. That's it. That's all. I wanted to be calm and flexible and better than everyone on Instagram. Hi, I'm Lexi, and this is the story of how I tried to center my breath, but ended up crop dusting a yoga studio and blaming it on structural issues. Let's back up. It's a Tuesday night. I sign up for a local yoga class. It's called Restorative Flow, which sounds like a nap in stretchy pants. I show up in my cutest yoga fit, matching set, water bottle, good hair. I look like I run a Pinterest board called Self-Care is Sacred. But here's the thing. Right before class, I ate a burrito. Like a full, aggressive, heavy burrito. With beans. With onions. With vengeance. And I thought, it's fine. I'm a professional. I'll just breathe through it. Spoiler alert, I did not. So we start. Lights are low. Everyone's breathing like they're being paid for it. I'm good for the first few minutes. Then comes the twisty poses. Then the deep bends, and my stomach starts to gurgle. Like angry gurgle. Like there's a mariachi band playing inside me. I'm trying to focus. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And then we hit pigeon pose. If you don't know pigeon pose, just imagine folding your body in a way that puts direct pressure on your soul and your colon. I fold in, and that's when it happens. Pop. Not loud, but not subtle either. Just a quick little hey there from my digestive system, like a polite bubble of betrayal. I freeze. Everyone freezes. The teacher pauses mid-instruction. And then I say, oh, haha, the floor's a little creaky. Ma'am, we are on rubber mats. There is no wood. This is a converted office building with linoleum floors. But everyone just nods. The kind of nod where no one believes you, but we all agree to pretend. Because community, because yoga. I stay for the rest of the class in complete silence, eyes closed, but inside I've spiritually evacuated the building. Class ends. Everyone rolls up their mats. One woman gives me a sympathetic smile. The instructor bows and says, Namaste. I whisper, Namaste away from burritos next time. And I sprinted to my car like I was being chased by ghosts of tacos past. Moral of the story? Don't eat burritos before yoga. If you do, sit in the back. And no matter how flexible you are, you can't bend away from shame. Anyway, I'm Lexi. And if you ever saw a woman in downward dog whispering apologies to the universe, that was me. Tell me in the comments, what's your worst silent space betrayal? Yoga? Library? Funeral? Let's laugh through the mortification, babes. Love you, mean it, Lexi out. So I started this new thing called a hot girl walk. It's supposed to be like walk with confidence, manifest your dreams, look hot while doing it. Easy, right? Hi, I'm Lexi. And this is the story of how I tried to be an empowered woman in motion and ended up being hunted by a goose and lying in a bush like a haunted garden gnome. Let's set the scene. I throw on my cutest athleisure, crop top, matching leggings, sunglasses that say I have boundaries, lip gloss popping, headphones in, full playlist of Beyonce, Doja Cat, and Delusion. The weather is perfect. The sun is golden. I'm walking like my ex is watching through invisible CCTV. And I pass this pond. Peaceful, serene, until I spot the goose. Not just any goose. This goose is jacked. Like it lifts. Has anger in its eyes, neck extended like it just saw someone texting its ex. I keep walking, thinking, I'm not scared of you. I paid taxes. But apparently, I stepped too close because out of nowhere, honk! Neck out, wings flapping, Goose coming in hot. Now listen, I've run from many things. My feelings, my landlord, the gym, but never a wild bird with vengeance in its soul. I scream. Full-pitch horror movie scream. Turn on my heel and book it. Platform sneakers be damned. I'm running like a cartoon character, arms flailing, knees too high, and this deuce keeps chasing me, hissing, honking, judging. So I do the only thing my brain can offer in survival mode. I dive into a bush. Just full on launch myself into shrubbery, like nature's panic room. Branches in my hair, dirt in my lip gloss, but the goose stops, stares, makes one last honk, then walks away like it won. I'm lying in the bush, breathing heavy, questioning my life choices. And then, of course, a couple walks by. The woman gasps. The guy goes, "Are you okay?" And me, in full disaster mode, just whisper, "I'm grounding myself for emotional regulation." They nod. Keep walking, because no one wants to engage with feral energy wrapped in spandex. I emerge, scratched, sweaty, spiritually unwell. Hot girl walk, canceled. Moral of the story? Never trust a goose. Nature doesn't care about your playlist, and sometimes self-care means running like hell. Anyway, I'm Lexi, and if you ever saw a woman flinging herself into foliage to escape poultry-based trauma, that was me. Tell me in the comments, have you ever been chased by an animal? Dog, cat, bird with a grudge? Let's bond over our wild outdoor humiliations. Love you, mean it. Lexi out.